The prince paid tribute to Sir David Amos in his speech. Prince Charles and his wife Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, visited Southend-on-Sea today as the town officially became a city. The prince brought the letters patent to a full council meeting held at Southend's Civic Centre, which contained official issuing of city status from Queen Elizabeth II herself. A choir sang in the chamber before the meeting started at 11:10 a.m. Read more, What's on in Essex? It began with a minute's silence in memory of the late MP Sir David Amos. Sir David was stabbed to death during a constituency surgery in Leigh-on-Sea last October. Throughout his career he had campaigned for Southend to get city status, and a community-led bid for city status was due to be submitted in December 2021. Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced that city statue would be granted 3 days after the MP's death. During today's meeting, several councillors paid tribute to Sir David. Councillor Cox, who proposed Sir David Amos as the first honoree of the freedom of the city, said, "We have all witnessed the work Sir David did for the people of Southend. What we would all prefer is to have him here today, proud of this momentous accolade. But I'm sure he is with us in spirit. He literally built this city." Councillor Lamb said. David would be celebrating and over the moon knowing Her Majesty had granted city status. David was a people person. He loved helping everyone and anyone who went to him with a problem. David loved the people of Southend but never forgot his roots or where he'd come from. Charles and Camilla arrived at the chamber at around 11:50 a.m. Once they had been greeted, Charles addressed the assembly. He said, "I recall with great fondness an occasion in January 2014 my wife and I visited the Palace Theatre in Westcliff-on-Sea. It was an enormously happy occasion and we were touched by the warmth from everyone we met. I knew Sir David as a renowned politician. Today we mark the culmination of that dedicated campaign." He went on to pay tribute to Sir David. "I'm only too aware that today's ceremony cannot replace the agonizing loss felt by Sir David's wife and children. I have no doubt Sir David would have been immensely proud today. It would have stemmed from his deep understanding of duty and serving the lives of those he represented. No one could have given more for the values that underpin the society we share. What we saw in the terrible tragedy in Southend was an attack on democracy, on society itself. What matters more than any name, is the spirit. Today, Southend becomes a city. It is always, and crucially a community. I pray that this new city will continue from strength to strength honoring the legacy of Sir David Amos, one of its greatest ambassadors." Sir David's wife, Lady Amos, received Southend's first freedom of the city on behalf of her late husband. Following the ceremony, Charles and Camilla went to Southend seafront. There, they unveiled the new eco-friendly pier train, named after Sir David. They also met staff working on the pier, and members of the local community, business and voluntary sector at a reception held at Sands by the Sea restaurant.